This video discusses common patterns of narcissistic and sociopathic smear tactics. In general, it does not accuse or diagnose any specific individual.
What is a sociopathic smear campaign and how can you protect yourself? This information that you're learning today can save your life and your reputation. So, ignoring this information will one day backfire on you. We're going to talk about psychology, a topic about smear campaigns and narcissistic sociopaths. So this is from Psychology Today. Smear campaigns involve manipulation and are often behavior of narcissists. A smear campaign is a planned effort to discredit a person or group or tarnish their reputation. Smear campaigns are a form of emotional abuse and they take a tremendous psychological toll on the victim. There are ways a victim can cope so that they can heal and move forward with their lives. A smear campaign is a planned effort to discredit a person or group, to undermine their credibility and then tarnish their reputation. Those who launch smear campaigns go to great lengths to spread stories, lies, rumors, and gossip about their victims. Smear campaigns often associate with politics, although they're just a few features of political propaganda. They're also a tactic used by family members, colleagues, or romantic partners to poison the well. Smear campaigns may take place with a family unit, among friends or acquaintances, or in the workplace, or within a group or online community, which has been something that's been more common lately. So a smear campaign is basically a vendetta or act of retaliation. They are tools of those who can be characterized as vengeful or vindictive, controlling or obsessive. Such individuals are often insecure and emotionally immature. Smear campaigns involve manipulation, and they're often a behavior of a malignant narcissist and those with narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder, which is formerly known as sociopath and psychopath. So what does a smear campaign look like? Individuals who run smear campaigns feel wronged and seek to punish those that they see as being at fault. They are abusers who paint the victim as the abuser because they see themselves as the victim. These people are incapable of taking responsibility or accountability for their actions. They mount smear campaigns to control the narrative and often rewrite history. Smear campaigns amount to character assassination. The abuser has the intention of damaging a target's reputation, and they are successful. They'll feel like they won. They want to protect their own public perception and to make the victim appear to be the crazy one. To execute the smear campaign, the individual grooms other people over time. For example, they might go on online forum groups to falsely accuse and keep writing false things. The individual grooms other people over time to function as allies or followers. Webb and Cohey, 2019. They do this by spreading false or exaggerated information about the target. Those recruited by the abuser to actively participate in their manipulation becomes an entourage known as the flying monkeys. This term comes from The Wizard of Oz, in which the Wicked Witch of the West troops of winged monkeys under spell to do their biddings. These smear tactics won't work on all who are approached. Often they only influence people who are easily manipulated. Those who side with the abusers are ultimately being abused themselves and are enabling more abuse. So how to overcome a smear campaign? Okay? How to overcome this stuff? Smear campaigns are a form of emotional abuse, and they will take tremendous psychological toll on the victim. These harmful attacks can cause considerable confusion, isolation, anxiety, helplessness, and anger. Smear campaigns spread false or misleading information, gaslighting a person about their expertise or experiences. By affecting a person's reputation, they also can cause untold professional damages and loss. Here are some advice for those who become targets of a smear campaign. For starters, don't retaliate, because this can escalate the behavior. Stick to the facts, overcome the urge to defend yourself and clear your name, which can result in more attacks. Next thing, overcome the urge to defend yourself and clear your name, which can result in more attacks. As noted, many of these perpetrators are narcissists. So tools that are designed to deal with narcissists apply to dealing with the smear campaign too. It helps to disengage from the person, refusing to engage with them in their power. Try not to worry about what others think. Over time, people will come to see the facts for themselves. Rise above the drama, focus on healing yourself and moving forward to rebuild your life. Also know that you are not alone. Smear campaigns are the most common. The most important thing is to protect your physical and mental health during a smear campaign. It could be useful to seek out a network of people who understand the situation and can offer emotional support. Finally, reach out to the mental health expert who can help you find ways to cope with this during the time. So this is from Psychology Today, an interesting article about smear campaigns. And let's go to the next article. All right, let's start the article. It's bad enough that a sociopath lies to hook you, but they also lie about you, which is known as the smear campaign. Anything they tell you about themselves may be false. Their age, education, credentials, family details, income, criminal record, job or work history, and of course, sociopaths typically lie about their relationships, history, and status. They claim to be single when they're married. Maybe they got married before, or they claim to be childless, which might be a father, when they have many offsprings, even with multiple partners. Sociopaths lies. It's a key characteristics of the disorder. So when you fall for the lies, you feel like a chump. But that's what often turns out to be even more devastating is the lies that they tell about you. That's right. Sociopaths typically engage in a smear campaign about their targets. These are outright lies that they tell you to your family, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, others in your social circle. The sociopath objective with the smear campaign is to compromise your social support system and therefore increase his or her control over you. For this reason, the sociopath may start lying about you long before you suspect any problems in your relationship. I've heard from many people that sociopaths have accused them of being crazy, psycho, or unbalanced, or needing therapy or needing medication. So I think the most prevalent lies sociopaths tell you are the statements that are undermine your mental stability. So what really dangerous about these statements is the manner in which they are said. Instead of ranting about you, often sociopath seems to be expressing concern. A sociopath will quietly say to your friends and family, I'm really worried about, John or something, or whoever. He really seems to be losing it, but he just won't go see a therapist. Or they'll come across as so believable when they tell these lies about you. Maybe legitimately suffer from anxiety or depression because of emotional and psychological abuse by the sociopath. But due to the sociopath gaslighting, you might be questioning your very own sanity. Still, by questioning your mental ability and your family and friends, the sociopath weakens your standing and makes them less likely to support your decision. The sociopath, in the meantime, is seen as a concerned partner or someone who is looking out for your well-being, which couldn't be further from the truth. So how to combat lies and pick your battles when you're dealing with a sociopath? How to combat the lies, pick your battles. Sometimes the sociopath smear campaign has been going on for so long and has been well orchestrated that you may find your entire family, social group, or community aligned against you. I've heard from many people who realize that everyone in their church believes that sociopath lies and not them. This is terribly distressing. Your reputation is shredded and you did nothing wrong. So how did you fight this? What did you do? But unfortunately, sociopaths are such accomplished liars that some people believe their stories no matter how much you protest. So here's what I suggest. Okay? So tools for navigating narcissists and other manipulative people. Figure out which people are really important to you and you need to know the truth. Do your best to tell them your side of the story. Show them proof that you have it. You might find that you need to walk away from some people and remove them from your life. So when you absolutely must fight the lies, there's one situation in which you must do to be the best to fight the lies when you are having a court case involving a sociopath, which may happen. Like all the evidence is collected and they don't have a response or a remorse. Sociopaths have absolutely no qualms about lying in court testimonial or court documents. When the sociopath lies about you in court, you must object. Court proceedings are all about establishing a record because everything else said in court proceeding is supported to be truth. Sociopaths are assumed to be telling the truth no matter what they say. So when their statements are lies, you must counter them. If you fail to dispute the sociopath lies, they become part of the court's record. This can turn into a real problem later on, with a much bigger repercussion than the smear campaign. So 3 questions to help you respond to the smear campaign. Here's the bottom line. Sociopaths lies about everything, so they are likely to lie about you. No one wants to be characterized falsely. I realize that you can choose how or even if you want to respond to the lies. Here are 3 questions to help you decide what to do. Does this particular lie damage my life? Does this person need to know the truth? Will responding to the lie keep me engaged with the sociopath? In situations where you can move on without combating lies of the smear campaign, that might be the best approach. Reserve your energy for taking actions on the matters that are vital to your life. Let's read the next article, Smear Campaigns and How to Overcome Them. So this is on LinkedIn, right? By Dr. Lillian Kalbronian, psychiatrist and psychologist by profession. Okay? When healthy people feel upset about something, they get angry. But toxic people don't just get mad, they seethe and wage a devious smear campaign. One of the clearest indicators that you got a mentally unstable person on your hands is a smear campaign. Smear campaigns carefully and strategically use lies, exaggeration, suspicions, and false accusations to try to destroy their credibility. They hide behind a cloak of understanding and heroism, vindictiveness, but under upstanding concern. As a smear person, what you are most likely guilty of is saying no to someone who is in some way failing to respect your boundaries, refusing to follow the same rules as someone who is spreading toxicity and manipulation, someone entitled, someone sneaky and vindictive, someone who is hurting you or talking too much. When standing up for yourself is the right thing to do, toxic people simply don't believe you have any right to refuse their mistreatment and set out to punish you for having any opinions that differs from theirs. Virtually all smear campaigns can be counted to having a trait of these disorders are characterized by dramatic, overly emotional, and unpredictable behaviors. Individuals with these disorders may have difficulties with emotional regulation and interpersonal relationship. Treatment options include therapy and in some cases medication to manage the symptoms. So there actually is a cluster B personality. I gotta look more into that. Anyways, let's continue the topic. So basically, as this LinkedIn post is saying, that virtually all smear campaigns can be counted on to have traits of cluster B personality disorder. Narcissists and sociopaths are among the most virulent smear campaigners. Borderline people may also opt to smear those who upset them. Not surprisingly, these four disorders are classified as dramatic and erratic, high conflict personalities. Narcissists can fly into a vindictive, narcissistic, sociopathic rage if questioned instead of receiving compliance with their demands. Sociopaths often have anger management issues and are driven solely by their own wishes without regards for the rights of others or consequences. Stronic people creates drama and conflict whenever possible, and they require little to no incentive to do so. People with borderline personality disorders have trouble controlling their emotional reactions and may become intensely angered by what others interpret to be a minor matter. Regardless of the reason for smearing, all smear campaigns work virtually the same way, following a very predictive pattern of the usual dirty tricks and underlining motive. Smear campaign tactics: discredit and isolate the victim, play the victim, or hero, lie, exaggerate, manipulate, manufacture, fear, label the victim, inferior, hurt the victim for spite. So basically, the difficulty with saying no to toxic people is that they are already hazardous. After all, they wouldn't be toxic if you wouldn't have said no to them in the first place. Most abusers simply want what they want and not be denied without unleashing a torrent of phony martyrdom and vicious slander all about you. Their story will be warped, slanted, and twisted until there's no one atom of truth left in it. Lies will be sprinkled in to try to make their audience fear, prejudice, and rebuke you for their supposed evil that you perpetrated against this innocent lamb or a vulnerable, well-respected person. You are a vicious animal who attacked them, and you supposedly attacked others. Everyone should stand up on their behalf. And this good person, by shutting you out and standing up against your abuse. But if the abuser is the coworker, they will try to get you into trouble or fired. If they are related to you, they will attempt to behave, to have you kicked out, or the family to make you feel left out. You must be marginalized and cut off from the pack so that you'll be left feeling weak and alone. This is payback for the smear campaign exacts for the fact that you got in their way. Want you sorry that you were ever born and that you know it much will hurt you to be shunned and turned against, and how powerless you will feel without the assistance of others. The smear campaigner must see it that everyone that they're telling these lies to is to keep sweet, and they'll play the good one. They're nice, helpful ones, the innocent ones who will only try to warn people of how secretly evil you are, supposedly you are when nobody's looking. They're doing their coworker, the family, the society, the grand favor by bravely speaking out against misdeeds. The smear campaigner needs to make their audience think that they're a perfect innocent person who was shockingly blindsided by your supposedly evil unreasonability. Over emotions or mental instability, smear campaign goals are to create mistrust of you, fear of you, and to condemn you if they think that your audience may not swallow the lie that they have done absolutely nothing and contribute to the matter. Popular lies of smear campaigners include statements or an insinuation that you are mentally ill, incompetent, trustworthy, or unreasonable. Well, that's exactly what they just smear me with. The smear campaigner does this so that if you legitimately show upset, the observer will attribute it to your irrationality, instability, and not to your normal upset and having been badly mistreated. Most people who use smear campaigns have several things in common. The smear campaigner must work to make people believe them. They will put out a good face and agree with their listeners and feign integrity and kindness, carefully tending to his or her image as an innocent and upstanding whistleblower who is bravely speaking up against evil and is a necessary part of the smear campaigner's plan. Whether the smear campaigner is claimed to be your victim or just conscientious bystander, or both, they know that they're being seen as the good ones, and this is righteousness and brave warrior of truth, not someone who is having a tantrum because you got in their way when they're doing something wrong, which is not following any instructions. This is not cowardly tyrant who is seething with revenge, certainly not as they think. This is just a decent person who is bravely trying to help others, right, by spreading the word to be careful, to avoid the monster. So smear campaigners may claim that they don't want to say anything bad about anyone. It's not like them, but they just have to say something about you in order to help good people snuff you out of your supposedly evil. They want people to snuff out your supposedly evil, and they must break with their usual humble and moral humility in order to step up and save the decent people of the world. The smear campaigner plays on the sympathies of others, using people's empathy to gain social leverage against their victims. They cannot be made to empathize. They are well practiced in their abusive games because they have been playing them all their lives. So that means this is not the first person that they have done this to. If you should become the subject of a smear campaign, you may find the following practices to be helpful in reducing or eliminating the damage. A summary of important points to remember about the smear campaigns. Smear campaigns are typically conducted against people who have stood up against some form of unfairness, abuse, or entitlement. Narcissists are highly active smear campaigners, and those with other high conflict cluster B personality disorders, such as antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and histrionic personality disorder, sociopaths, are prone to smearing others. A smear campaign involves lies, exaggerations, and cultivation of mistrust towards the victim. Campaigners insinuate that the victim is mentally ill, unreasonable, incompetent, trustworthy, or abusive. They're trying to say that about me. Campaigners typically play on the sensibility of others, using people's empathy and moral to turn people against victims, most often by having done nothing more than disagree with the smear. A smear campaigner prefers to make others think that they are good people who are rightfully standing up against a victim supposed to be immorality or abuse. Smear campaigners will play both the victim, the hero, or both. Then remember that you do have the right to make a fair and healthy request. And if you are smeared as a result, smearing is unreasonable and unacceptable response. So that's an excellent article from a psychiatrist. So Dr. Lillian Cabrion. So that's excellent. All right. So this one's from Medium. So Medium is an article that's online talking about smear campaigns. Overcoming a narcissistic smear campaign, a guide to protect your mental health. Your actions plan against narcissistic defamation. In the wake of a toxic relationship, dealing with a smear campaign perpetuated by a narcissist ex-partner can be daunting. Such an onslaught can take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being, even trickle into your professional and social sphere. The road to reclaiming your narrative in peace is riddled with complexities, but is vastly achievable with the right strategies. Here are 23 practical solutions to protect yourself and your reputation and ultimately move forward with strength and dignity. Number 1, seek support from trusted individuals. The first step in navigating a smear campaign is shoring up your support system. Lean on family and friends who understand the dynamics of the abuse and can offer unconditional support. Social validation and empathy from your inner circle can counteract isolation narcissistic X may be trying to impose. Number 2, document and preserve evidence. As I was saying, document and preserve evidence. Consistent and documentation is your armor. Keep records of any communications, confrontations, and public statements related to the smear campaign. If the situation escalates, these records can be crucial for taking legal action and setting the record straight. Number 3, set boundaries and maintain distance to shield yourself from further harm. This could involve entirely cutting off contact with the narcissist. Remember, your first step in healing is to create a safe environment free from manipulation and psychological aggression. 4, focus on self-care and mental health. Committing to self-care is non-negotiable. Engage in activities that uplift you. Practice relaxation techniques and prioritize rest. Rebuilding your mental health by placing your well-being at the forefront of your healing process. Number 5, avoid engaging in public arguments. Resist the urge to engage in public disputes or respond to provocations. Engaging in smear campaign tactics reflect poorly on the victim. Trust the integrity of your character would speak volumes to those who knows you well. Number 6, seek legal advice if necessary. If the situation escalates or affects your professional or personal life, seek legal counsel. Understanding your rights and options can provide clarity and a sense of control over the narrative being spun. Number 7, educate yourself on the narcissistic sociopath. Knowledge is empowering. Educate yourself on the traits and patterns of narcissistic sociopath behavior. This awareness can dissolve the mystique of the projection, separating their dark world from your reality. Number 8, practice mindfulness and grounding techniques. Mindfulness practice and grounding techniques can anchor you into a present moment, away from the negativity swirling around the smear campaign. These tools are especially effective in moments of heightened anxiety and stress. Number 9, surround yourself with positive influences. Actively seek out positive influences, whether through supportive groups, podcasts, or literature. Positive environments create fertile soil necessary for personal growth and resilience. Number 10, address false accusations with factual information. If you must address falsehoods, do so with factual information. Stick to the truth and present evidence where possible, but do not feel compelled to engage with every twisted details of narrative. 11, consider professional therapy or counseling. Professional therapy can be transformational for survivors of sociopathic narcissistic abuse. A skilled therapist provides a safe space for introspection and can equip you with coping strategies to address aftermath of the smear campaign. Number 12, stay true to your authentic self. Stand your ground and remain true to your authentic self. Remembering your own values and that you're beyond the distorted reflections that the narcissistic aims to project is a powerful form of resistance. Engage in activities that will bring you joy. Number 13, joy can be revolutionary in the face of adversity. Invest time in activities that you love, that connect with your passions. Celebrate the pursuit of happiness, and it will reverberate in your face of the smear campaign. Number 4, create a support network. Expand your support network by forging connections with others who have similar experiences. There's strength in numbers, and there are countless individuals and groups who are eager to share their knowledge and encouragement. Okay, so here's another article. This one's called Mind Psychiatrist. So dealing with a narcissistic sociopath smear campaign, strategies and protection and recovery by Jack Hansen, August 28th, 2024. All right, let's see what Jack has to say about his smear campaign. So, ever felt that you're constantly walking on eggshells around someone who always seems to have a hidden agenda? Picture this, you're being falsely accused, your reputation tarnished, and your relationship strained, all orchestrated by a manipulative narcissist. Sound familiar? You might be caught in the web of narcissistic smear campaign. So in this article, you'll discover practical strategies to navigate the treacherous waters of a narcissistic smear campaign. From understanding the tactics to safeguarding your mental well-being, you'll gain valuable insights on how to protect yourself from their destructive behavior. Key takeaways: understand the tactics and motivations behind a narcissistic smear campaign and protect yourself effectively. Strategic silence can be a powerful tool disarming a narcissist smear campaign. Building a support system of trusted individuals can help you cope with emotional turmoil caused by a smear campaign. Documenting instances and keeping records can serve as a valuable evidence if legal intervention becomes necessary. Prioritize self-care and protect mental and emotional well-being amidst narcissist smear campaign. Recognize signs of smear campaign, such as sudden shifts in perception, consistent targeting, and gaslighting tactics to take proactive steps in safeguarding yourself. Understanding narcissistic smear campaigns. Navigating a narcissistic sociopathic smear campaign can be overwhelming and emotionally draining. Recognizing the tactics used in these situations is crucial to effectively dealing with them. By understanding how narcissists operate, you can better protect yourself and mitigate the impact of their harmful behavior. Here are some key insights into a narcissistic smear campaign. Detecting manipulative behavior. Recognizing the signs of a narcissist smear campaign is the first step in safeguarding yourself. Pay attention to sudden shifts in other attitudes towards your unexplained rumors and gossip and the pattern of false accusations. It's essential to trust your instincts and observe any consistent efforts to tarnish your reputation. Unveiling the narcissistic's intentions. Understand the motives behind the smear campaign can provide clarity. Narcissists often engage in such behavior to maintain control, manipulate perception, or seek revenge. That's the word, revenge. By grasping their underlying reasons, you can depersonalize their actions and avoid internalizing a false narrative they create. Resist the urge to engage directly with a narcissist or defend yourself against every false claim. Strategic silence can be a powerful tool in disarming their tactic. Refrain from participating in their drama. Any response may fuel behavior and prolonging the smear campaign. Build a support system. Seeking support from trusted friends, family members, or a therapist can help you cope with the emotional turmoil caused by a narcissistic smear campaign. Surround yourself with individuals who validate your experiences, provide perspective, and offer emotional comfort during challenging times. So it's very important that you document all these instances. For example, keeping a record of the narcissist's actions, including a written communication, date, and witness, can serve as a valuable evidence if legal intervention becomes necessary. Documentation not only helps you stay organized, but also reinforces your credibility in the face of accusations. Prioritize self-care. Engage in activities that bring you joy, practice self-care, and establish healthy boundaries to protect yourself from further harm. Remember that your peace of mind is paramount. By understanding the dynamics of a narcissistic smear campaign and implement proactive strategies, you reclaim your power and preserve your reputation and navigate through these challenging circumstances with resilience. Stay vigilant, prioritize self-care, and remember that you are not alone in this difficult situation. As it says, recognize the signs of a smear campaign. To protect yourself from a sociopathic narcissist smear campaign, it is crucial to be vigilant and identify the telltale signs of their manipulative behavior. There are some indicators that can help you recognize when you're facing a smear campaign. Identify malicious intent. When you notice how people perceive you and false rumors or negative stories start to circulate about you, it's likely a narcissist is orchestrating a smear campaign. They might point you in a negative light to undermine your reputation and credibility. Noticing a convert manipulation. A narcissist engage in convert manipulation by spreading lies, half-truths, or distorted information behind your back. They may enlist flying monkeys, individuals who support their agendas, to further disseminate falsehoods and tarnish your image. Observe consistent targeting. If you find yourself consistently targeted with baseless accusations and derogatory remarks from multiple sources, it's a red flag of a smear campaign. Narcissists often targets your vulnerabilities and areas of strengths to provoke an emotional reaction. Gaslighting is a common strategy employed by narcissists during a smear campaign. They might attempt to make you doubt your reality, memory, or perceptions to discredit your responses, their manipulative actions. Recognize isolated efforts. As part of a smear campaign, narcissists may try to isolate you from your support system by sowing seeds of doubt or creating rifts in your relationship. This isolation can make you more vulnerable on their toxic influence. Being aware of the signs that you can take proactive steps to protect yourself against a narcissistic sociopath smear campaign and to safeguard your mental well-being. Remember, staying informed and trusting your instincts is crucial for dealing with these challenging situations. All right, strategies to counteract a narcissistic sociopath smear campaign. Okay, so basically, recognize a narcissistic smear campaign is essential to protecting yourself effectively. Here are practical strategies to help you counteract such manipulative tactics. Number one, stay grounded in reality. Remind yourself that a narcissistic sociopath smear campaign isn't a reflection of your true character. Focus on your strengths and positive qualities to maintain self-assurance. Document everything. Keep records of any interaction, messages involving the smear campaign. Having documentation can support your case if it needed to arise to address false accusations. Seek support from trusted individuals. Reach out to friends, families, or therapists who understand the situation. Surround yourself with a supportive network that can offer guidance and reassurance. Next, set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries within the narcissistic sociopath to minimize further manipulation. Avoid engaging in arguments or responding to provocations that the smear campaign. Maintaining composure. So this is from a site called Mind Psychiatrist. Remain calm and composed when faced with false allegations or gossip. Reacting emotionally may validate the narcissist tactic and escalate the situation. Consider legal options. If the smear campaign affects your reputation or livelihood, consult a legal professional and explore potential legal recourse. Defending your rights may be necessary in severe cases. Let's read the next article. This one's called Judge Anthony. One of the first signs that you're being targeted by a smear campaign is a sudden change in others' attitude towards you, right? Accompanied by the spread of false information. You may notice that your friends and colleagues start to distance themselves, leading to feelings of isolation. This can be particularly painful when trusted individuals believe the lies being spread about you, which may elicit sympathy from those who felt unaware of the truth. Another common sign is gaslighting, where the narcissist manipulates you into questioning your own reality, making it harder for you to fight back. Friends and family members may act distant, cold, or even hostile. Relatives and family friends might side with the narcissist, due to pre-existing biases, making it even more challenging to find support in a narcissistic relationship. While it can be disheartening, it is important to focus on those who are genuinely interested in the truth and can see through the manipulation. Staying true to yourself is crucial for maintaining your self-worth and not giving the narcissist the satisfaction of seeing you crumble. As time passes, individuals who think independently, which is like not sheeps, right? The sheeps will begin to notice the manipulation. They'll eventually uncover the truth. So strategies to protect your reputation. Resilience and strategic thinking are vital for safeguarding your reputation against a smear campaign. The first step is to remain calm and composed during interactions with the narcissist, as this can prevent further escalation. Involves maintaining calmness and clarity, which helps to focus on facts rather than emotions. Building a strong support network is equally important, as it counters isolation and provides genuine support and validation of your experience. Focus on those who remain supportive. Even when some relationships have been damaged by the smear campaign, staying in contact with supportive friends and family can provide you the necessary guidance and emotional support to protect your own reputation. Stay calm and avoid emotional reaction. Social rejection due to a smear campaign can activate brain regions similar to triggered by physical pain, leading to a feeling that's often overwhelming. Therefore, managing your reaction is crucial for protecting your well-being. Staying calm and avoiding emotional reactions is essential to maintaining your reputation and mental health. Responding calmly, factually to smear campaigns claims helps you avoid appearing defensive and keeps the focus on the truth. One practical tip is to practice deep breathing exercises to regain control over your emotions. This can prevent emotional escalation and help you stay composed. Disengaging emotionally is vital to avoid further conflict and not fuel the narcissist's attention-seeking behavior. Remember, engaging with a narcissistic sociopathic person can worsen the situation and give them more ammunition to use against you. Avoid escalation and keep focus on the facts rather than emotions. This approach not only protects your reputation, but preserves your emotional well-being, allowing you to deal with the situation more effectively. Document everything. Keeping detailed records of interactions and communications is crucial during a smear campaign. Recording every interaction can be instrumental in countering false claims and the record straight. This documentation can be particularly useful if you decide to take legal action, as it provides concrete evidence supporting your case. Whether it's emails, text messages, or social media interactions, ensure you have a comprehensive record of all communications. This not only helps you in defending yourself, but also provide clarity on the sequence of events, making it easier to counter false narratives and lies. Document matters and can be your strongest ally in proving the truth. Set clear boundaries. Establish strong boundaries is essential to maintaining your emotional well-being in the face of a smear campaign. Clear boundaries help protect you from psychological harm. Communicate effectively during a smear campaign. Effective communications is crucial while navigating the complexity of a smear campaign. Avoiding engagements with a narcissist is essential to prevent further manipulation and escalation of the smear campaign. Maintaining awareness and clear boundaries or communications can significantly impact your ability to protect your reputation and emotional well-being. Two key aspects of effective communications during a smear campaign are choosing your words wisely and limiting engagements with the narcissist. By focusing on these areas, you can minimize narcissistic ability to use words against you and reduce their opportunities to manipulate. On Psych Central, 11 manipulative ways narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths sabotage their victims. Part 1, written by Sanhida Iribi with an MA. Narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths can inflict long-lasting damage on their victims. Their emotional and verbal abuse, combined with their cruel, persistent attempts at sabotage, can even drive the victims to self-destruction and suicide. For parts of this series, there are 5 ways that covert saboteurs can infiltrate your life and attempt to destroy it. Number 1, the smear campaign, which is what we're talking about for this topic. So, covert predators like these spread falsehood to slander your reputation, to smear your credibility to others. This is a form of gaslight, with a sociopath gaslight, intended to manage your image to the public eye to ensure that no one will believe you were being abused. The abuser works overtime to paint you as the abuser in order to escape accountability for his or her actions. At the root of all smear campaigns is character assassination. Narcissist preemptively strikes with personal attacks in an attempt to unsettle you and smear your good name because they are pathological envious or threatened. Smear campaigns can also be launched in contexts outside of romantic relationships. They can circulate in the workplace and friendship circles, as well as extended families. It's not uncommon, for example, for a pathological envious sociopath coworker to feed misinformation about their hardworking colleagues to their bosses in order to eliminate them as a threat when climbing the corporate ladder. When narcissistic sociopaths infiltrate the higher ranks of authority, they have the potential to cause even more devastation by sabotaging those they perceive as competition. As Joe Navarro, former FBI profiler, wrote in the book Dangerous Personalities, narcissists can reach high levels in high power or high trust professionals where the transgression and abuses of authority can have devastating consequences. When you have a police officer who lies and steals, a health professional who believes himself who lives or dies, the potential to do damage increases exponentially. Smear campaigns can be launched by telling blatant lies about the victim, spreading rumors or suggestions which calls in doubt the sanity of the victim concerned, even concocting false evidence to isolate the victim from outside support. A survivor, Molly, shared with me her harrowing story of how a narcissistic partner tried to stage his own death to frame her and spread lies about her sanity. She writes, he held a gun to his head and said that he'll kill himself, make it look like a murder to ensure I was blamed if I didn't shoot myself after. Keep his family and our close friends that we had true love, yet behind their back tells them I was crazy and suicidal and was doing his best to help me. I could never been the S word. And this caused my closest friends and family to lose all faith in me and totally secluded me from the outside world. Do you see that? There's that seclusion that happens when these narcissistic sociopaths shows up and do their stuff. Tips when you're facing with a smear campaign. If you're being met with any kind of smear campaign, stick to the facts. As difficult as may be, try not to become emotionally responsive in public. Narcissists will use your emotional reactions against you to further put you as the crazy one. Present only the facts. If you are met with unwarranted accusations, focus on any legal consequences you can take against a narcissist with a smear campaign. Carefully document evidence of the narcissistic behavior whenever possible. You need to build a case. Research the defamation laws in your state. If necessary, enlist the help of a lawyer who's familiar with high conflict personalities. Create a healthy support network which encourages you during difficult times. Ideally, one that includes a trauma-informed therapist who understands personality disorders. This support network should be made out of people that are trustworthy and have your back, not those who enable or support the narcissist. You do not want to be further gaslighted, invalidated, or re-traumatized while encountering a smear campaign. How to spot and survive a narcissistic smear campaign. Overcome narcissistic abuse with our expert guides by Fernando Campos. What is a narcissistic smear campaign? Signs of a smear campaign. Dealing with a smear campaign. Why do narcissistic sociopaths use a smear campaign? A smear campaign is a tactic narcissists use to ruin another person's reputation. These manipulative attacks can be really devaluing and alienating to whoever is a narcissist who has their sights set on. So it's important to recognize when you're experiencing one. If you're going through a narcissistic smear campaign, we're here to support you through it. Keep reading and learn more about what a smear campaign is, what signs to look for, and how to navigate conversations, restore your reputation. Things that you should know. A smear campaign is when a narcissist persistently spread lies or rumors about another person and damage their reputation. A narcissist repeatedly speaking poorly of you, bullying you online, turning friends against you are signs of a smear campaign. Avoid discussing any lies or rumors a narcissist spread about you. Keep acting calm and kind so people can see who you really are rather than believing the narcissist. So what is a narcissistic smear campaign? A smear campaign is a manipulation tactic to tarnish a person's reputation. Like at the end of a relationship, they try to humiliate the person that made them feel that way. During a smear campaign, a narcissist may speak of you poorly or spread rumors to turn others against you and to make themselves feel superior. A narcissist may also be using a smear campaign to distract others from their own behavior. Narcissistic smear campaigns can happen in any type of relationship or settings. A narcissist family member may be talking poorly about you to hide their own dysfunctions at home. When a narcissistic coworkers may talk to your boss about you behind your back, you feel like you're competition. Section 2 of 4. Signs of a smear campaign. They spread rumors or false accusations about you. During a smear campaign, a narcissist will exaggerate the truth about your interactions to make it seem like you are causing issues. They may tell blatant lies about you as a way to control the situation. Narcissists may tell these lies in person, spread them over social media. A narcissist ex may accuse you of cheating on them and make it seem like you are the reason for a breakup. An old boss turning narcissistic smear campaign may spread rumors about your poor work performance, preventing you from getting another position. They persistently badmouth you. When a narcissist has their sights set on you for their smear campaign, it'll be their main focus during a conversation. Even if other people disagree, if they're given the opportunity, they'll continue attacking what makes you feel the most vulnerable or telling stories about all the bad things that you have done to them. They may also play the victim. It seems like you're the person causing the problems. If you made a narcissistic friend feel ashamed, they may go on a smear campaign and share secrets you told them in confidence. Narcissists or narcissistic sociopaths may say something like, I don't want to cause any trouble, but I'm really concerned about John's anger issues towards me. Even though it may sound like a concern, it still may change how the person's hearing and views you. They try turning other people against you. A narcissistic sociopath that feels threatened by you will try damaging your reputation behind your back by reaching out to your friends, family, coworkers, or anyone in your social circle. They'll tell lies or bad talk you to draw attention to themselves and make others side with them. A narcissistic partner may tell your friends that you don't actually like them, so you spend less time with them. A narcissistic sociopath coworker may lie about your boss. Even if you call out narcissists out on their behavior, they may try turning it on you and play the victim instead. They may shift the blame and say that you're the one who's making things up or gaslighting others to believe your side of the story. The narcissistic sociopath is either afraid of being caught in a lie or having someone see through their narcissistic sociopath's facade. They'll redirect their attention on your behaviors instead. So a narcissistic sociopath partner may say that you are the one causing relationship issues. The narcissistic sociopath parent may say that they're still caring and that you are the problem for not contacting them on your own. Dealing with the smear campaign. Avoid engaging in conversation. Rather than letting a narcissistic sociopath push your buttons, do your best to ignore what they're saying and move on. If you can, go to no contact with a narcissistic sociopath. Limit any conversations with them. If you do have to talk to them, establish your boundaries for what you're comfortable talking about and what topics you may want to avoid. You may say it hurts when you spread rumors like that and will not engage in the conversation if this is what we're going to discuss right now. Common narcissistic responses to no contact may include ignoring the boundaries you set, getting angry, or trying to convince you that they've changed. Stay strong and continue maintaining your boundaries, and the narcissist will move on when they realize that they don't have the control over you anymore. Limit your emotional responses. If you lash out and get upset by what a narcissist say during a smear campaign, it may make you seem like you're overly emotional and make the narcissist claim more believable. When you do have to talk on the subject, use gray rock method by maintaining a neutral expression and calm demeanor to show that you're not bothered. Move on to the next subject to help redirect your attention. If someone says something that makes you upset, just say something simple like, I'd like to talk about something else. Resist getting defensive about all the narcissistic claims. So rather than getting upset and defensive when you hear a narcissist smear campaign, pick your battles with what you want to address and what you not want to. While you may want to defend yourself on bold claims that affect your livelihood, comments go about things that are difficult to disprove. The narcissist is only trying to get control over your emotions, and try to disprove them may make it seem like you're acting unstable. Even if you're not in the wrong, avoid feeling the need to try to proving it to everybody. People who are closest to the narcissist may not shift their perspective. Prioritize your own happiness. Instead of worrying about a narcissistic comment, try to move forward and keep on doing things that make you happy. Take a moment to calm down so you can keep pressing forward. Then check in with your emotions and refocus on what makes you feel good and positive when you're riled up by smear campaign. When people see you acting like yourself and not the narcissist described you, they'll recognize the lies that they're being told. Just stay true to yourself, acting authentically and not a narcissist make you out to. They may believe the narcissist even if you spend time trying to convince them. It may hurt to lose some friends, but it's better to be around people who believe and support you. So document and report abusive slander behavior. If a narcissist is being really persistent with their smear campaign, keep a log of any messages, text, or post that bad talks you. Continue bullying you, block and report their social media accounts so they can't keep spreading lies. If you feel threatened or endangered, then contact law enforcement and let them know. If the narcissist still doesn't let up, look into defamation laws in your state and contact a lawyer to make a legal case. So why do narcissists use smear campaigns or narcissistic sociopaths? To maintain their control. If a narcissistic sociopath feels like you're pulling away from them, they may start talking poorly about you because they see you as a threat or competition. So the smear campaign will help convince others to see that their side before they have a chance to give any details. Narcissists will be worried about embarrassed or looked down upon, so they do anything they can to look better to others. As a narcissist continues their smear campaign to feel superior over you and make themselves feel better, to make it seem like they're the victim. Narcissists think they deserve special treatment or attention or treatment so that they may try to flip the script if things aren't going their way. Even if they had negative behaviors that impacted your relationship with them, they may shift the blame with a smear campaign to take attention off themselves. So what's the attention that they want off themselves? That maybe they're just not good as a student. And rather than taking responsibility, they decide to go on the attack. So to achieve goals for themselves, if a narcissist thinks that you're directly competing against them for attention or recognition, they may start speaking poorly of you. The narcissists only care about getting what they want and not who they hurt in the process. Well, they don't have like any remorse, right? Or guilt. So they may use it as a scapegoat to get revenge on people who hurts them. But that's what WikiHow says, right? So that's from the WikiHow article. Okay, let's look for some more articles on smear campaigns. Smear campaigns, sociopath, narcissist. Let's see what else we have. This is on Psyche, whatever this site is. It's called the narcissistic smear campaign. It says everything about him or her and nothing about you. Instead of being hurt, be thankful. Let's just see what it has to say about it, okay? There's only one type of person that smear campaigns, a character disturbed individual. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever thought even once to intentionally humiliate, embarrass, or impact the view of a person's support by contacting them and saying false things about a friend, family member, or beloved one? It's because you're not a character disturbed. This behavioral trait is a hallmark of a narcissistic sociopathic personality disorder and sociopath/psychopaths, but is also seen in other character disturbances. By the time you become aware of the fact that someone you trust is smearing your name, they have been doing it already for some time. You can only find out about it when they're either no longer cautious or someone tells you, or that person wants you to find out. And that's the hideous game of control and punitive domination. Normal people don't behave this way. It is not normal behavior for an adult to go behind the back of another adult and to contact their supports, family or friends, to tell them that you're crazy or addicted to substances. Why do they do it? They do it because their goal is to destroy your credibility. They do not try to ruin your name. At first sign of your disagreeing with them, go straight into your contacts in an attempt to damage your credibility. They do this because they fear what your opinion is of them and what you may potentially tell people when a person of your character chooses to leave them. It is straightforward, and when you think back, you will realize that they contacted your friends or your social media or otherwise innocently obtain your contacts, and you have very few of their particulars, as well as duplicitous will lead to deceptive, complicated lies with many sources of supply available to them at all times. Narcissistic sociopaths and some other characters' disturbances have no integrated ego. When people see this in public, the mask, a veneer, a facade, and is designed to gain public approval or favor. When you attempt to break away from them or disagree with them, they fear that you are destroying their mask. In order to preserve their mask, which is very important to them because they're not integrated and they do not have an authentic self, they attempt to ruin you. Their mask of sanity is so fragile that any discord, disagreement, or lack of support is interpreted in attempt to shatter their mask. The mask is so fragile that any discord or lack of support is interpreted as an attempt to shatter their mask. They spend their lives reconstructing and wearing a flimsy mask in order to hide what's behind it. Noting behind the mask, the desire to harm, violate, and control and destroy people. These folks do not view people as people, but as objects to be used to build up in fear as they could break them down, shatter their mask. By the time it comes to your attention that they are smearing your name, it has already been happening for a long time, even if it's subtle. Most often use the contacts you gave them to go straight to the people that you're most likely to be confiding. They attempt to discredit you, call you crazy, or complain that you're an addict or a junkie. So the recipient of the slander will not believe you. So the whole idea is to make sure people are turned off in the very beginning. That seems to be their MO, apparently. Who cares? Anyone who engages with a person who supposedly loves you but is talking trash about you is not worthy of your time or attention. For a person who is trashing your name, you're better off knowing this. They are unworthy of any of your time, energy, or focus or affection. End of discussion. People who love to bring you up will never engage any person in a conversation about you behind your back in which you're portrayed as negative light. People who receive negative messages about you and are caught up in the drama are not your friends. And if they're a family, they're not decent and do not need to engage any person who smears your name or is a recipient of a smear campaign, entertains it. Your true friends and people who are worthy of having you in their life will extinguish conversations in which you are subjected to smearing, will call you and tell you immediately. Anything short of that, the person does not have your best interest in mind and is to be feared. There's no other way to explain this than a situation where any person is excused from participating, even if a proxy, in a campaign intended to spread negativity about you.